Welcome to Conversations with Chris. Today I have Tim with me and I'm really thrilled to be able to introduce you to Tim. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to get Tim to tell us a bit about what he does in the world. So, Tim, what do you do in the world?
What do I do? Well, I'm a community builder with life leadership.
What does that mean, community builder with life leadership?
Well, we build communities of like-minded people, and we have this awesome green box that we share with people. And you'll say, "What's the green box?"
Yeah, yes, okay, what's the green box?
So the green box is our financial fitness pack, and it has 47 principles about your finances. And if you open the green box and follow the 47 principles, it will help you eliminate your debt. And so when you come to retirement, you will have a nice nest egg waiting for retirement.
Cool. That's kind of helpful. There'd be a lot of people that don't actually benefit from that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Because people don't realise you start work at roughly the age of 20 and go up to 30, and then it flatlines, and we all know what happens if you flatline with your heart. So when you get to retirement at the age of around 67 nowadays, you have to then live off a half to a third of what you couldn't live off up to that point.
Yeah.
So the green box is definitely helping a lot of people in that aspect.
And what drives you to be part of that and offer that? Like what's the heart for you?
The heart for me is you see so many people struggling financially out there, and unfortunately at school we don't tend to teach the young about finances when they leave school, and we have everything thrown at us on TV and that about buy now, pay later.
Yeah. And
people get caught up in that matrix of, oh, well, it's only another $10 a week, but before you know it, you've actually got a lot more debt, and then you're struggling to live off what you're earning.
Cool. So that's awesome, and we know that you do that space well, but we're here to talk about Unlock Your Power programs, so I'd really love us to be able to share the story about why, when you have something like that is essentially a leadership program that you're engaging with, what is it that then brings you to do something like Unlock Your Power program?
Well, what brought me here was my self-talk, and self-doubt, which
we all have.
We do. And when you can have someone like Chris help to unlock that power, and to be able to be confident in speaking to people, it's been a huge help.
So can we share a little bit of where you found yourself and where you were functioning in that? Because I remember succinctly where your headspace was at when we first started doing this. Yes. Do you remember what that was like?
It's sort of starting to fade a little bit for me.
Oh, that's really good.
Which I guess that's Unlock Your Powers working. But yeah, one of my problems is, if you're building a community, you need the people in the community. So you need to contact the people to share the idea. It's not about selling something to somebody. It's about showing them what is out there and what can help them.
And so what was your self-talk in that?
So my self-talk was every time you would have to pick up a phone.
And what would happen every time you had to pick up that phone?
Pick up that phone, you would sort of talk yourself out of it, really.
And I think this is a really good part of the story, because in this sort of, when you're building a community like that, it is the go-to approach to have to pick up the phone.
Yes.
To contact people.
That's right.
And as we move through these questions in this conversation, I want to reveal some of the stories of what else has happened for you, because we can often get caught in, this is the way it's always been done, so therefore this is the way it has to be done.
Yes, yeah.
And we're going to keep it a little bit sort of keep you hanging a little bit, because Tim's had some amazing stories around maybe not conforming to the way that it's always been done to build the community.
Yes.
So, all right, so what surprised you as we moved through the Unlock Your Power program? Because it is 6 to 9 months of constantly looking at yourself and working through that and the support, but what surprised you through the process?
I guess what surprised me was how subtly things happen, you know, and
Do share.
like, you know, as I mentioned, I had a fear of the phone, but I would find myself just in conversation with people, and what we would do on the phone was happening just in front of me. You know, so you're able to, rather than me call up somebody to be able to go and share the green box with them, I could sort of make a time with them then to go share the green box with them. You know, so I wasn't really using the phone, but at the same time I was doing the same job.
Yeah, so you're getting better outcome because we've moved you, and so it's not about necessarily solving the problem of you being able to pick up the phone.
No.
It's finding your unique way of sharing the message.
That's right, yes.
And getting and exposing other people to the idea and sharing it with them.
That's right, yes. Because even probably before Unlock Your Power, I would know that, say for instance to share it with Chris, but there would be reserve to actually approach the subject, you know. So whereas now with Unlock Your Power, I'm finding that I can just say, look, I've got something you might be interested in, and leave it at that, you know. So
yeah, that's so cool. So what else happened in your personal world that maybe surprised you? Because that's all business, and I do remember that was kind of where we started, was the picking up the phone thing and not being able to do that and communicate. But there were a few other surprises that happened along the way in your world.
Yes, well, I guess buying my first house recently was something I hadn't really set out to go do, but just by talking with a friend, we thought, oh, why don't we pool resources and buy something? And you know, that was sort of a shock.
How has that gone? Has that been easy, or has that been a rocky process, or has that actually been a really easy process?
No, it actually flowed quite easy, you know, from start to finish. You know, as you know, when you're going around looking at real estate, often people will try and tell you the good points of a place, whereas we were lucky that we would just go into a place, have a look around, and we would know exactly whether, yes, this is potential, or no. There was not any grey area.
See, that's interesting. You phrase it as lucky, and I find myself actually defaulting to the word lucky. You know, I've got this world, I'm not lucky. You know, this environment that I live in, this life that I have. But it's not luck.
No, it's not really. I've got a friend who said there's no such word as coincidence.
No, because you attracted in the right real estate agent to take you to the right place, who wasn't going to be unreasonably telling you things you didn't need to know.
No. And we were lucky. There we go.
See, there we go again. There it is, lucky.
The real estate, they've actually just met us there, opened up the doors, let us go through. They told us little things about the house, because it's not your average suburban house, and left it to us, sort of thing, you know. Right. And then we thought, we'll negotiate and put a price in for it, and that flowed fairly smoothly as well.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with the outcome of it.
Cool. So now I'm going to come back to the original story around the picking up the phone and building that community of yours.
Yes.
Because you shared a story with me just a month or two ago about how your community has actually been created.
Yes. Yeah. there was a group that I'd been sort of talking to over, it could be going back 4 years now, and so finally we had a message come back from overseas for this community. So I contacted them and said, look, I've got this message, let's come together and you can hear it and we can share the green box with you, and away we go. So we all met, and on the spot there was so many of them started to join the community, and and
then we go, lucky Tim, and yet it's not lucky, is it?
no, because they could see by helping themselves, they too will be able to help their country, because they were people that have moved to our country, and but they see the need in their own country of what they've left.
So essentially they can pay it forward.
Pay it forward,
essentially,
yes, yeah.
So what a cool way. So this is just to clarify, that original idea of having to pick up the phone to gain that community, and when you stand in your power and just be willing to let that resistance go of, I have to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
You magically created a community.
That's right. Almost
with no effort from you.
That's
and the
right.
circumstance just appeared.
Yes, yeah. Because, as we operate as a community, it's not just myself doing everything for the community. We work as a team. And so there was, another person involved with delivering this message to the group.
To that group, yeah.
And they could see how we operated as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the end of that. It's actually the beginning of that.
It's the beginning of that.
It's not the end of that,
No,
but it's
that's a long way to go now.
It's the joining of what we find resistant to what then has come with ease in a totally surprising way.
Yes, yeah. It's like putting the jigsaw together.
Yeah.
But and I guess that's the advantage of Unlock Your Power, is it's unlocking so that you can put the pieces together, and it helps everything flow.
Just fall into place. So if somebody's looking at doing Unlock Your Power and they're going, I don't know, I'd really like all the pieces to fall into place, but I really don't know how that's going to look in my world. Like, what would you say to them about if someone's right on that point of, I'm interested, but I don't know, what the hell are you going to do with this?
Well, what have you got to lose? Really, because I've seen how it's unlocked the power for me, and why is it going to be any different for you? Because,
great statement.
But it's true, it's just what I've found, like within the life community, and it's the same out in the world. It's just, we don't know what we don't know. And if somebody can sort of lead you to something that may help, then give it a go,
Awesome.
Because that's the beauty of community.
So what would you say was the biggest change in your perception in life and stuff through Unlock Your Power? Like what do you see in you that you use to move forward now? Like what's some insight into you?
I think that I've gained more confidence, and less self-talk to be able to move forward, and you can't put a price on it, really.
Wow, that's awesome. It's been awesome to watch what's happened in your life and be, just have those moments of interaction with you to see those things continue to open. And can't wait to see what the next 12 months brings, because the last 12 months have been fun.
Very exciting. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you for having listened to Conversations with Chris, and we'll catch you in the next one.